Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Penny Roberts, and we're here today to have our final Junior Achievement session. I sure am going to miss you in the future, but this is our final session. Today's session is about the global market, and we're going to start out with this question. Does a neighborhood store or Amazon.com have more customers and make a greater profit? And why? I want you to think about that for a second. Okay, if you thought it was Amazon.com, you would be correct because Amazon.com participates in the global market. They sell all of their products globally. Anyone in the whole world can purchase things from Amazon.com, whereas a local neighborhood store may or may not have online business. If they do an online business, they may also do global markets, but they may just actually be a part of the United States market, or maybe even just the local market. True or false? If it's true, put a thumbs up. If it's false, put a thumbs down. Entrepreneurs tend to journey to countries where their ideas can be put into action. Okay, thumbs up for true, thumbs down for false. And the answer is true. Entrepreneurs do tend to journey to other countries where they can put their ideas into action. It may not always be in the United States. At one time, businesses only traded with neighboring businesses. But in this case, trading means the buying and selling of goods with each other. Now, this changed over time, where businesses didn't only trade with neighboring businesses. And the reason for this change is our transportation became so much better. For example, we had horses first, and then of course we went into railroads, ships, and planes. And this gave people the ability to trade all over the world if they wanted to. The global marketplace refers to the buying and selling of goods and services between businesses and consumers just about in every country around the world. Did you know that 95% of the world's customers live in other countries? What are the advantages for customers who shop in a global market? What would the advantages be? Think for a second on your own. We know that one of the great advantages would be you would have a huge selection to choose from when you were trying to purchase an item. You wouldn't have to go with just what is available locally if you did not want to, or what was just available in the United States. You could find items from countries all over the world. That is one of the great advantages that you would have. Also, it opens the marketplace for our employees in the United States to work in other countries. Now, as I said, trade means the process of buying and selling. So that's what trade means anytime you hear me say it today. Businesses now use sophisticated technologies so that they can reach people around the world. You know that's true. I bet your parents actually shop online, and you know what I'm talking about. But in order for businesses to be able to do all of the elaborate trading that they do online, they have to have very sophisticated systems that can handle all of the orders that are coming in, all the orders that are going out, so that there aren't any mistakes in all of those orders that they receive from people around the world. If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you go? What would you buy and bring home? I want you to think about that for about 5 seconds. All right, I bet you came up with some exciting places. Now, you might know where you would go, but maybe you don't know for sure what you would buy and bring home. Now, recently, my husband and I went to Canada about a couple of years ago, and I knew that I wanted a Canadian sweatshirt. So while I was in Canada, I purchased this Canadian sweatshirt because I wanted it as a souvenir from going to Canada. Another time, I was in Mexico with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and I went to their open marketplace, and this caught my eye, and I knew that I wanted to purchase this from their markets there. It depicts a wedding that is taking place, and I love the colors and how vibrant and vivid they are. So we always usually, if we don't know before we go somewhere what we want to purchase, we'll usually find something that we want to bring home, and we call that, of course, a souvenir. We usually like souvenirs from places that we visit. We do have the ability now to travel all over the world because we have planes and ships. And that also opens our markets. That means that people all over the world can actually ship their products to us in various ways. And we can ship our products to them. Let's look at the map for just a second. Some of the things that we get from other countries. In Mexico, there's lots of things we get from Mexico. If you start looking in your house and turning things upside down, you'll find some things that are probably from Mexico in your house. But one of the things that we get that was mentioned are tomatoes. We get a lot of tomatoes from Mexico in the summertime. From Brazil, we often get oranges. The oranges that are often used for our orange juice, believe it or not. In Chile, we receive raspberries and other types of fruit from them. And if you go to the grocery store, to the produce section, they usually have a little tag on the fruits and vegetables there, and you can tell where they're from. You'll have to look and see next time if you see anything from Chile. In Germany, the United States gets some of its wheat from Germany. And next door to Germany, although it's not written on the map, is Belgium. And Belgium is known for delicious chocolates that they make. And then we have Egypt. Egypt has a special type of cotton that's grown near the Nile River that makes wonderful material, like Egyptian cotton material. And the United States actually imports Egyptian cotton from Egypt. From India, we might get spices like pepper and clothing of different types imported to the United States. China, they do a lot of our technology that we have, and electronics. A lot of our electronics come from there. And if you go around your house and you turn things upside down and look for the tag on it, you're going to see a lot of things that you have gotten that were made in China. Australia is a country that exports aluminum to the United States. And the United States uses some of that aluminum to make the cans that you drink Coca-Cola out of. So as you can see, we get a lot of things from other countries, and that's only just a little bitty bit of what we get from other countries and what we import. Now we're going to talk about specialization. There are some companies that specialize in certain areas. For example, they choose to focus on the production of one product or a few products, or maybe the parts that are needed to build or make particular products. So when companies do this, this is called specialization. Some businesses specialize by shipping their natural resources to other parts of the country or to other countries. For example, Florida, they're known for their citrus fruits and their citrus products, and they are shipped all over the world. Colombia is known for their coffee beans, and they ship their coffee beans to the United States so that we can make coffee products and have coffee. If you go to the grocery store with your parents the next time, look for Colombian coffee. You will find that on the shelf at your local grocery store. Specialization helps businesses in many countries to buy and sell with one another. It also can help reduce the prices, and when these prices go down, boys and girls, this benefits us as consumers. It helps us to purchase the products for a lower cost. In the global market, Businesses compete worldwide for their customers and for their best workers. This can be a very competitive part of business because there can be people who are constantly trying to, remember we talked about, do innovations to products. And then, so if a country beats us at doing a particular innovation of a product, then people will start buying from them instead of the United States. So it gets very competitive, and the United States works very hard to try to stay ahead of the other countries so that other countries will purchase from us and not from other people. Opportunity costs. Opportunity costs are what is given up when you choose one thing over the other. Now let's review. I want to go back to session 1. If you remember in session 1, you learned about goods and services, consumers, which are the people who buy the products, and producers, the people who create or make the products. We learned about the free market economy because in the United States there are very few governmental rules on owning a business. And we talked about profit, how you have to pay all of your bills and pay for all the resources, and then you make a profit. In session 2, we discussed becoming entrepreneurs, how you take your ideas and your hobbies and you possibly could turn that into a future business, and that business could help the lives of yourself and others. And we also talked about innovations. With innovations, that's looking at a particular product that's already out there, changing it so that it's better for other people and for yourself, and creating that new product to sell to other people. There were different types of resources, if you remember. There were natural resources that come from our environment, capital resources such as the building that you're in, the tools and machines to make your products, and the money that you use. And then there were human resources, the people who actually work for you in your business. Then in session 3, we talked about high growth, high demand jobs. Now, we're talking about, remember, starting the new elementary school, and that was going to cause a huge burst in the number of jobs that came to that area because of the new school. So that would be a high growth, high demand job. And then the technology that has to be used by everybody within that system in order to make the new business run really well. And then we talked about different career clusters. If you remember, we talked about policemen, firemen, and paramedics being in the same job cluster because they all provide the service of safety. And then we talked about how we have carpenters and plumbers and electricians that are all in the same cluster because they work together to build a house or come up with the same final product. Session 4, we discussed employees and employers. Remember, if you're getting a job somewhere else, you're the employee. If you actually run the business, you are the employer. And then we talked about that you would need a resume, soft skills, great communication skills in order to actually get a new job from an employer, and that it would require you to have a job interview. And in that job interview, you would need to display all of the soft skills that you've learned since you've been in school. In session 5, we discussed the global marketplace and how countries trade with us and we trade with them. And then we also talked about specialization, where some businesses focus on a particular product or a few products or the parts that it takes to make products. And that's all they focus on, and they make a lot of money just making those products to trade with other countries. And then we talked about opportunity cost, and that is what you give up in order to take another opportunity. So I want to thank you for your participation today. I want you to continue to think about the ideas, the interests, and the hobbies that you have that you could one day turn into a business that would improve your life and the lives of others. Who knows? Your business someday may actually end up in the global marketplace. The sky is the limit, boys and girls, as long as you always work really hard to achieve your goals. You will now complete an activity with your teacher that goes along with this session. Once you finish this activity, you will have completed the JA Our Nation program. It's been great to be with you, boys and girls. I love all of you very much, and I hope to see you again sometime.